Good morning, good morning, good morning. Buenos dias, mi gente. Yo. Welcome to Daily Discipline number 460 in a row. My name's Rob Hoback. Happy that you're here, honored and humbled that you keep coming back like for reals. Hey, it is a Sunday fun day. It's NFL Championship Sunday fun day, which means we got this week and in 2 weeks we have the Super Bowl. We have 3 football games left in this season. If that doesn't and my team's still standing. It's just anxiety, happiness, sadness, premature, heartbreak, all of these things. Anyway, yeah, and I wanted to point something out about the day. This is for you, Matt Barb. 1 plus 19 equals 20. You know I love that, and you know I love you. I see you, girl. All right. Hi, Mom. So, hey, first things first. I'm still the realist. I'm also global. Right. Yeah. And the reason I bring that up is I was looking at some stats yesterday. We get views here in North America. We get views in Asia and India. We're on 3 continents. Right? I don't think I know. Right. Whatever. It's just awesome. Right. And it reminds me of 2 things. It reminds me of Precious continuing to say, I wish people all over the world would hear you. They are, bro. Every day we show up, we're vibrating a little bit more. And I know it's working because of people like Super Mario, right? Like Super Mario, he shows up in my thing. I contact to reach out. And I don't know. I've had a couple people that I've reached out to from my past, introduced them to Daily Discipline, never heard from them again, right? Freaked out, I guess. I don't know. But there's others who are like, I love it. I'm staying. Give me some more, right? Yeah. So when I say that we're part of a global network, I mean it, right? We are a global network of energy, of people that think similarly, that want to continue to see this go forward. It's awesome, right? And luckily for me, I get to be the face man, right? Speaking of which, right, that's part of what we're going to talk about when we get to what kind of juice you got, right? It's not everybody has the same juice. Not everybody gets to do the same thing. But we'll talk about that in a minute. First, I want to talk about my thank yous. So my thank yous from yesterday were, that I got to spend the morning with Sis, right? I love hanging out with her. Even when it's not my weekend, I got to see her. I got to go to basketball with her and just some time alone with her. She's so sweet. I love her, right? So then dropped her off and then pick up Sam and off to basketball we go. And so that meant an hour and a half, an hour and 45 minutes one way to this tournament where they played 3 games. And then we turned around and came back. And so I had 3 hours in the car with Sam, or more. And, some of that time he just wants to be on his phone, just doing his own thing. But sometimes he just wants to sit around and talk, right? And so just to have that amount of time just with him, Jack's not screaming, Addie's not asking for something. It's just the 2 of us, right? And so we were able to talk about our week, right? The things that we accomplished this week. Because I talked about this week, making bold moves, right? Went and looked at a property to start off the bill, right? It's an old abandoned movie theater, and I think it's going to be perfect. It's going to be the perfect place to start. And so just sharing that vision with him, talking about all the things we could do. I had this vision after he kind of went on and did his thing that won't it be awesome when the vision I have of what it can be when we're there and be like, bro, you remember when we were coming back from Chanute, Kansas? Right? And here's the beauty of Chanute, Kansas. For 4 years? First 4 years of his life, Chanute, Kansas, or that geographic area, was what was the drop point. That I would leave Kansas City and I would come to Chanute, Kansas, and Sam's mother, my co-parent, would bring him there, and we would meet in that general area. We drove right by several of the spots that we used to meet. And I told him the stories of, how much I hated leaving him. Hated it, right? Every time I left him, I just felt like a terrible person. But anyway, I was glad that we got to go back there together, right? That's where the tournament was. We got to go back there together to an area that used to have so much pain and heartbreak. And then it just, it was a great day. They didn't lose a game. They wasn't even close. Marshall's done a nice job with that team. And, when they're playing like competition, they're better, right? Now, against great teams, they don't. But here's the other thing that happened is between last year and this year, Bro started looking at other players that are bigger than him. And he's like, they're just big, right? And I saw him go after a couple of bigger players. Love it, right? It was fun watching Sam use his juice, right? His juice A lot of his the way he approaches situations are, I can see like where he brings his mom's personality, right? More of a shy introvert, whereas I can see him like holding court, like he's my son, telling jokes, just whatever, doing his thing. And I also saw where, you know, he can bring a confidence, like he can bring up the collective energy of a team the moment he steps on the floor. It's awesome. Not gonna lie. Um, so two other quick thoughts, and then we'll wrap it up for the day. Is yesterday there was a big UFC fight. Conor McGregor came back, and I mean he hasn't fought in the UFC for a while, so it was a big deal. And everybody's wondering. Everybody kept saying, he has this quiet calm. He has this quiet calm, and then yesterday they started talking about, well, like he's been working with Tony Robbins, right? And we've talked about Tony on here. There's a couple things, where I mean he's a human being, right? He admits it. He's like, look, I've done some dumb shit in my life. Don't want to dwell on it. Especially when he was younger. But now I've heard Tony talk about this, that he'll see a celebrity that's in peril and he'll reach out to him like, hey, I think I can help you. And it's awesome, right? Like Conor McGregor won that fight in 40 seconds. I think he whooped that guy's ass. But even when he talks, he seems like he is under control. He's focused. He's learned how to take that energy that was all over the place and be like, nope, we're bringing it right here. And you can't discount the effect that Tony Robbins has had on his life. So good for Tony for understanding what his juice looks like and then applying it to make the world a better place. Again, like if you save a gazillion people and you got a couple hundred that say bad things about you, like okay, right? Like you understand that there are people. Yeah, just anyway. I'm not saying he's God. I'm saying he knows what he's doing with his juice. What was the other thing about that? Oh yeah, and then we got to talk about football, right? So look, at 3:00 today, you got the Chiefs hosting the Titans. I believe the Chiefs are going to win that game. I just think that the Titans, while they've been on a great run, I think they've run into a team that's just dramatically better than them, and I don't know. And they both played earlier this season, and the Titans won, but I think the Chiefs are going to win. And yeah, man, I got to believe too, right? I got to believe that I know it's possible for the Green Bay Packers to go in and beat San Francisco 49ers after how bad it was. So, yeah, I believe the Packers are going to win. I believe that Aaron Rodgers, whether he can articulate it or not, he's been resistant to go all in, right? When Troy Aikman talks about him, why doesn't he throw that pass? Because he's not all in yet, right? He had to go all in at the end of the last game because they had to win to advance. And then all of a sudden, everybody's like, well, in the last 5 minutes of that game, you saw the real Aaron Rodgers. Well, isn't it possible that maybe Aaron Rodgers said, hey, I'm not going all in until I realize that, like, we can actually deliver. Guess what? They can deliver. So this is his time, right? This is his time to shut down all of those arguments from the last couple of years, right? His position was that if you get me a coach who respects me, includes me in the game plans, blah, 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 all that, we'll play better. They're one win away from the Super Bowl, right? Like they win this now, that conversation goes by the wayside. And then if they win the Super Bowl, like Aaron Rodgers goes from that top 10 quarterback, like he's in the top five quarterbacks of all time with 2 more wins. So, and you look across, you got Patrick Mahomes. He's good. He's not Aaron Rodgers. He may have more athletic ability at this point in time. I'll still take Aaron Rodgers. And come on, right? Jimmy G, he's pretty. He likes porn stars, all that stuff. I get it. He's not Aaron Rodgers, right? And Aaron Rodgers still carrying around that chip on his shoulder, like, hey, Niners, I wanted to play for you, and you said no thanks. So, like, he could. There's plenty of time here for him to get lots of. He's ready to like slay several dragons here, and I believe this is the game that he'll pull it out. Right, a guy that I work with started talking me through that and convinced me. So, well, we'll see how that works out. Right. With that, we're done. Hands up, peace out. We're better together. Appreciate you stopping by on a Sunday fun day. Whew. Yeah, it's going to be intense. All right, thanks for stopping by. Love you. Better together. Don't forget about that. Right, for rules.